Hi, kiddo. How was your day? Oh, well, authorities can be unreasonable sometimes. All the way from parents, of course, to teachers and bosses can sometimes do unreasonable things and seem like they have the power to back it up too. Hmm. So, what happened? Oh, is this a cat rooster type of situation? Oh, I'm sorry. That's just my mind, I guess. It's one of, I suppose, fables. Well, basically, the cat is going to eat the rooster, and he says to him, "Well, you are, after all, a terrible nuisance waking people up in the morning and all that." And the rooster says, "Oh, no, no. The people really need to wake up in the morning to take care of the farm. It's actually a great help." And the cat has some other reason that they make up, and the rooster has a good response for that one too. Well, then the cat says, "Anyway, I'm not gonna go hungry," and promptly eats the rooster. It is pretty savage, but the question is, does that apply here? I mean, sometimes reason helps. I feel like anyone who says this is what we are going to do has at least a little bit of a threshold before they change their mind. But again, sometimes reason helps. Yeah, I do feel like I suppose was being a little bit negative when he sets people up to just have a nature where they need to eat other people. That's not exactly how human interactions work. It does make a point, it's undeniable. Yeah, there, as it happens, there is more positive stories about similar situations, obviously. One does come to mind, if you would. Well, you see, the authority in this one is a chief of a village, and the crime he commits is that he takes people's names, or at least their right to decide the names. Yeah, it's quite poignant. It's a powerful thing to do. Well, after this decree has been put into place, after a while there is a boy who is born, and it's clear quite early on that there is something very special about him. Well, when he's newborn, his mother takes him to the chief to be given his name, but on the way there, the kid goes, "Why are we leaving and where are we going?" I mean, you certainly didn't speak on your first day, and when you did, you hadn't really developed the sass yet like this kid had. The kid says, "Oh, we don't need to do that. I already have a name." And the name was Youngna, which means smarter than the chief. Uh-huh. I mean, this has a lot of sass going on. Well, time passes, and eventually, of course, the chief meets this kid and says something along the lines of, "Hi, who are you?" And the kid introduces himself and tells the chief his name, and he's like, quite certain that something isn't right. Yeah, he wouldn't really give someone the name smarter than me. So he sort of decides there and then that, oh, I hate this kid. Well, he starts out by asking Yangana's mother to make beer for the evening and gives her, well, the ingredients that you need for that and just a bunch of, it's mixed with lots of crap, basically. And even if it was clean, like making alcohol takes time. So, yeah, it's very much rigged and impossible. But here's the thing, the kid then goes get some seeds and goes with the seeds to the chief and says, "There you go. Please make some cups so that we can drink the beer that Mom is making for tonight." Yeah, you can't really make cups from seeds. You have to grow them, and yeah, there's a whole thing, obviously. And it's an even more impossible task, or at least it requires a lot more time. So the chief pretty much sighs and goes, "Yeah, yeah, just give me back the stuff." And he gets the stuff back, but no beer. It is surprisingly reasonable, but the thing is, or at least I think, part of the thing is that he wants to humiliate this kid and his family. That's what he's looking to do. And he can't really have himself be humiliated with them because it takes the edge off, you know? Yeah. So, next up, he asks young Anna to look after his bull for a little while. Well, the little while was until it produced enough cattle to pay for a dowry or something like that. Yeah, produce cattle as in one lonely bull giving birth enough. Yeah. So the next day, Young-in-law is out taking care of business near the chief's hut. And he's asked what he's doing. And he tells them that, yeah, I really need to take care of the household now because my father is giving birth. I mean, in context, it's It's just as crazy. And that's the point, because when the chief hears this, he just laughs out loud and says, "That's entirely impossible." And obviously, now, young Na just says, "Well, how then do you expect your bull to give birth?" And mic drop, and he gets to return the bull. Uh-huh. But of course, after that comes the third time, and we know that now the stakes are up, because the number 3. It actually gets really serious. He asks Yangana to run an errand together with his son, and instead of doing the thing that he's been doing so far, where he rigs everything to be terrible and seemingly impossible, he does the opposite. He gives Yangana beautiful clothing and an amazing horse. His own son is dressed in rags for this on a terrible steed, as if he is really trying to make amends. Mm-hmm. And Yangana, who is either very kind or just, smarter than the chief, asks the son if maybe he would like to do a trade. After they've traded everything, they go on this errand, and the son of the chief is shot by an arrow and killed. Mm-hmm. And after what happened, you'd think that the chief would give up, or at least that he would change in some meaningful way, but that's not what happened. And I mean, aren't we reminded just a little bit here of the story of Moses? Maybe that's just me. Anyway, next up, the chief asks Yangana to come and drink beer with him. Yeah, I mean, you know what they say. If someone tries to make you disappear, don't come around when they offer you beer. Okay, that's not a real saying, but there should be something like that somewhere, don't you think? All right, all right. I'm just saying that obviously there is plans in motion here. So, what do you think he's up to? I mean, that's pretty reasonable, and you are not far off here. But he's being convoluted about it. So, what he wants to do is to end him, obviously, and he makes a place for him to sit, and it's very comfortable and nice looking. But underneath the place to sit, there's a big hole. And then just preps lots of beer, and that's his evil master plan. Oh, we are not stopping yet. You see, young Na, who is very smart, obviously sees this coming. What he does is, before going there, he digs a tunnel. And not just under the house in some general sense, but he finds the big hole and he digs a tunnel to the big hole so that he has like an escape route from this hole and can just go down there and then go home. And that's his plan. The smart person's plan. Story-wise, I would want divine intervention to give him this far-fetched idea. But honestly, if there was a divinity who was giving him hints, that would sort of undercut everything that the story is trying to tell, or at least a lot of it. You're not really, smart, sassy, resourceful, and uh, you're not even undercutting authorities if there's just a bigger authority who's helping you making the thing happen. So he goes there and he falls into the pit and he just goes home. And then the chief pours the pit full of the beer that they were going to drink. And obviously it goes through the tunnel, and Yagna is in the other end with his mom helping him to scoop this stuff up. And still, mind you, the king is obviously done now. He knows that he has won, Yagna is dead, and everything is great. Like, he has a drowned person in a hole in his room and he hasn't checked it or done anything about it. But he is totally satisfied that this is done now and I don't have any problems anymore. Well, his one defining characteristic is not being all that smart, actually. So I guess that does check out. The next day, Yagna sends an invite. It's my turn to invite you, and I have some beer to spare, so please come to my hut and enjoy it with me. Well, after all of that, the chief finally caves. He gives up the right to naming and gives it back to the families and the people, and all is right with the world. Yeah. And, I mean, if we contrast these two stories, I really do think that I suppose is just too negative for me. Mm-hmm. But I must still admit, it is a little bit more intuitive. It's a more complex, longer story, and it has a lot of nice points that I really like. What do you see in it? Mm-hmm. I think so too. And Yang never genuinely gives up on the chief. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like he thinks they're gonna be best friends or anything, but he assumes that this is a person, and deep down there is a heart, and he keeps poking at it, and it keeps working. Yeah. So, when people are being unreasonable, I'm not a huge fan of the "this is why you're wrong" approach, but I do feel like there can be a spectrum somewhere here, and Yangana is often gonna be closer to the answer, I think. I guess the real question here is, how does this apply to your situation? Is this a cat rooster situation, or is this a chief who doesn't want the best for everyone, but still has a heart in there somewhere that can be reached? Well, I do hope it helps. And if nothing else, maybe you can learn from Youngana to lean on me now and then. You do. And I'm so happy just to listen, just to be let in still. No matter what unreasonable demands some would want to push on you, always remember, you are safe, you are loved, you are precious. All you are, your name, your time, your life, is all yours. Don't you forget it, and if you ever do, I'm happy to be here.